Dynasty peeps, what is up? It's good to be with you on this Friday night. And we're here, of course, to answer Dynasty questions and talk about Dynasty Fantasy Football. And some of our mother flockers over on flockfantasy.com/domain have gotten their blueprints done.
How about that?
I think it would be right to let some of them have their blueprints reviewed on the live stream because they are our biggest supporters, and we super appreciate them. Yeah. So we're going to do some team blueprints tonight, too. It's going to be a fun night. Drop your questions in the comments. Again, going to be doing some team blueprints tonight, so maybe not answering every single question, but we're definitely going to prioritize super chats, definitely going to prioritize our domain mother flocker members, but we appreciate all you guys and drop your questions. If we get to them tonight, we'll answer as many as we can. We do have a special announcement. There's a special announcement right now at the beginning of this, and that
Joe Burrow is dead.
That Joe Burrow is dead. Yeah. It wasn't what I was thinking, but that is interesting. Yeah. And I did just make a trade on a rebuilding team where I had Patrick Mahomes. This is the worst team I've ever drafted in my life, where I had Patrick Mahomes, and I traded Patrick Mahomes. And I traded him for Joe Burrow and Devon Achane. It feels gross saying that. Joe Burrow and Devon Achane for Patrick Mahomes on a super big rebuild. It feels gross, but I feel like I had to do it. Maybe I'll try to flip Achane because I'm not super high on him. I don't know. But at the same time, that's big news coming out of today. Again, we're going to go through our team blueprints today. If you're not familiar with the team blueprints, they look like this, and they are available at flockfantasy.com/domain. But our big announcement, of course, is we always talk about flockfantasy.com/domain. We talk about the website, talk about how if you use code domain, do the mother flocker tier, you get a team blueprint.
Code domain.
Code domain. But guess what? Today is, well, not today. Next week is Black Friday, but we're going to do a 1-week Black Friday sale where if you sign up with the mother flocker tier, annual mother flocker tier, using code domain, you get 2 team blueprints when you sign up. 2. 1 week only. Again, annual Mother Flocker members, but new signups get 2 team blueprints. So like I said, flockfantasy.com/domain, annual Mother Flockers. And it's a pretty big deal that we're doing that. But let's go ahead and get into some blueprints of our own today. We've got some guys, again, from our Mother Flockers over on flockfantasy.com. How many times can I say Mother Flockers? That we're going to review their blueprints. And we are going to start with our guy, ZMunger23. Dude, we have gotten to know on our Discord very well. A dude we really appreciate supporting us. Nathan, I'll let you do this one first.
Well, we'll start with league settings here. So this is a standard Superflex league. PPR, no tight end premium, and solid depth. I think it starts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Start 7. And some decent depth there as well on your bench. So overall, or start 8, actually, not 7, start 8. This team is tough, and I've got, as an archetype, I've got hard rebuild because just a lot of unlucky stuff going on here. Dallas Goedert obviously going down with the injury recently, and Dallas Goedert, by the way, is not on the Jacksonville Jaguars, as it says on there. It's actually on, he's on Philadelphia. Nice. And Tony Pollard, obviously disappointing through 10 weeks. DJ Moore, doing what DJ Moore does, having some big weeks, having some dud weeks as well. And Calvin Ridley, not really meeting expectations. And at the quarterback position, this is really why I've got you at a hard rebuild, not necessarily a reload or anything like that. It is really tough at quarterback. You lost Rodgers to start the season. You lost Fields, who's a great fantasy asset, and Pickett has been what Pickett is, which is not great. Not a lot of cornerstone assets here, so we've really got to capitalize on the draft capital that we do have, which is 224 first. You're missing your 25 first, and your depth isn't looking too good. I'm happy that you have those first because we would be in a heck of a pickle, like a multi-year rebuild, if you didn't have those first. What I do think is important for you to do right now is to get rid of pretty much all of your relevant running backs. Get rid of them all in a hard rebuild. I want you to have, unless it's Nick Chubb, I don't want you to have any running backs on your rebuild team. 0. So Tony Pollard, you're selling him low. I'm selling him low. And I'm targeting a guy like Marquise Brown. I'm targeting a guy like Quentin Johnson. I'm targeting these wide receivers that are going into contract years that are almost guaranteed to increase in value once they get a long-term contract. And then Quentin Johnson, obviously a rookie wide receiver who's just fallen under the radar and fallen in value significantly because he hasn't done what Puka Nacua has done, I guess. So that's a really good thing that you'll want to target there. Obviously, in non-tight end premium, the only tight ends that are really relevant in those leagues are the top 4. Outside of that, you can spam tight end. Dallas Goedert, love him as a player. I like him on a lot of teams in Dynasty. I don't like him on your team. So overall, hard rebuild. Yeah, you are pretty well-rounded between your positions at QB, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. But you're gonna have to sell a lot of assets, quote unquote, low. And it's going to be ugly for a little bit, but I'd encourage you to be patient because at the end of the day, I think you've got a promising future, especially with all the buy low opportunities that you can capitalize on now, like Deshaun Watson.
Z-Monger, man, we appreciate you joining us over at flockfantasy.com. Like I said, everybody, make sure you head over to flockfantasy.com. Sign up with the annual Mother Flocker tier. This week only, you get 2 team blueprints. Again, use code domain, annual Mother Flocker tier. You get 2 of these things. Let's go to our second one, and this is going to be from our guy, Velocity. One of our newer members over there, Velocity. Been good meeting you, man. Thank you for joining us over there. Continue to ask us questions about this, and we're going to go through your print now. This is a super flex, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 flex, 12 bench, and 5 taxi spots. Your starting lineup looks pretty good. You have a pretty good team here, my friend. You've got Sam Howell and Trevor Lawrence as your quarterbacks. You've got Gibbs and Spears as your running backs. Not to mention, at receiver, you are stacked. You have Garrett Wilson, JSN, Puka, Josh Downs, and Christian Watson. Looking really good there. And then Kyle Pitts at tight end. Your depth score, we're going to give you about a 6 here. You've got Minshew and DTR at quarterback. You've got Kendre Miller, Keaton Mitchell, Jaleel McLaughlin, Treylon Burks, Michael Wilson, Jonathan Mingo, and then Michael Mayer at tight end. So pretty good, pretty solid, especially for what we would consider a little bit more of a rebuild. But obviously your team is going to be a wide receiver factory rebuild. Your 3-year outlook here, you're going to be rebuilding this year, but you should be contending next year, honestly. The next 2 years on this one, you should be contending with this team. So we're trying to set you up in a position where you can indeed be contending next year. The cornerstone assets, go ahead. You got something?
No, you're good. You can finish your spiel. And then I've got some updates from him as well.
Okay, cool. Your cornerstone assets here, Trevor Lawrence, Jahmyr Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua, and Kyle Pitts. We told you to look to trade Sam Howell, Christian Watson, Dameon Pierce, and Keaton Mitchell, and target Chubb, Charbonnet, Flowers, and Higgins. Again, some buy low dynasty guys. That is, I think he made some of these moves, right? Did he make our trades with this team already?
So I'll read you what he said. He said he's been trying to deal for Zay Flowers, and the Zay Flowers trade unfortunately fell through. I really liked some of the things that he was doing there, though. He originally had a scenario where he was going Zay Flowers and Chubb. He was going to get those 2 guys and give up Dameon Pierce, Keaton Mitchell, Christian Watson, and then Sam Howell, actually. And I was like, actually, I don't mind that. I thought it was a fine deal, but it fell through. He has a new possible trade for Jamar Chase. So he would receive Jamar Chase in a Superflex and Zach Charbonnet, and he would give... keep in mind, he's got 424 firsts, one of which is very late. He'd be giving Trevor Lawrence, Puka, and a late 24 first. I am holding Trevor Lawrence at that price. Trevor Lawrence is going to be one of the most polarizing dynasty assets in fantasy one of the most polarizing dynasty assets this offseason, and I think you're going to have a lot of people that are trying to get rid of him, that are selling him at a discount. And at that price, even though you have 4 firsts and are probably going to be able to get some quarterbacks in your rebuild, I want to get more if I'm getting rid of Lawrence and Puka and a 24 first with the state of your team right now. So that's just what I would recommend.
Your positional grades here, again, you've got lots of picks. Your draft capital grade's great. You've got 4 24 firsts here. Positionally, 7 out of 10 on quarterbacks, 6 in running backs, 8 in wide receivers. Again, your wide receiver heavy build. And then tight end, 6. And so, again, solid team here, man. I like Kyle Pitts and I like Michael Mayer. So we like this team, but we more importantly appreciate you jumping over there and joining us on Flock Fantasy, my guy Velocity. And again, thank you so much for supporting the channel, supporting our organization. And again, if you guys haven't seen, we are doing a Black Friday sale with these blueprints. If you sign up for the annual Mother Flocker tier using code DOMAIN, this week only, you get 2 team blueprints instead of 1. That is 2. We did get a question if you upgrade from the monthly Mother Flocker to the annual Mother Flocker, if you get another blueprint, and to that we will say yes. You will get one more. Yeah. So we do appreciate everybody. We do appreciate all your support. And like I said, flockfantasy.com/domain, annual Mother Flockers. We'll get 2 team blueprints this week only. Let's go to our next blueprint here. And I believe that this one is our guy, Trent, who is in the 5-person keeper league, if I remember right.
Yes, that is correct.
Trent, we appreciate you, man.
Defense and kicker as well.
Yes.
So
fun one.
This one is very interesting because
explain.
In a keeper league, in a 5-person keeper league specifically, where there's a ton of turnover there. A ton of turnover. At that point, it's essentially a glorified, in my opinion, a glorified redraft league, right? Where you're just redrafting all these players every single year.
You use glorified, right?
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, thanks. Okay, Turkey. I did that unintentionally because it's November. You got Lawrence at quarterback. You got JT and Bijan. Then you got Garrett Wilson, JSN. It's kind of woof at wide receiver right now. Dallas Goedert at tight end. That's tough. And then Marquise Brown in your flex. Your bench isn't great. You have Zach Charbonnet on the rise. You have Rashee Rice, who's been consistent recently, but that's really about it. Tyler Algier to back up Bijan Robinson as well. Overall, I've got you at dual elite running back. Your strength here is definitely Bijan and JT. And regardless of your record, regardless of your situation in a keeper league, I'm always looking to make moves to go make a push for the playoffs and make a push for the championship. So yeah, I would look to trade in a 1 QB 5-person keeper, Trevor Lawrence. I'm getting a lesser QB, and I'm getting depth to help me make a push with those flex plays. Because at the end of the day, in a 1 QB, you've got, in a 12-team league, you've got the top 12 QBs every single year that are starting, and past that, like everyone gets the luxury of starting a quarterback 1. So Trevor Lawrence really doesn't have that much value in this format. So if you can down tier from him and get an extra piece, I think that'll be really good for you because you're not keeping him at the end of the year anyways. Same thing with Zach Charbonnet. Let's get you a flexible wide receiver. Some people might like the promise of Charbonnet. We do in Dynasty. In a 12-team keeper and as shallow as your format is, I'm not as excited about Charbonnet when really you win with upside. Dallas Goedert, if you've got anyone in your league that's interested in holding on to Dallas Goedert, that's really struggled at tight end in the last year or two, and they want to have a guy that they can lean on consistently in the future and want to hold on to Dallas Goedert and him be one of their 5 keepers, go ship him off to that guy. Go ship him off and upgrade at wide receiver again. And I think the main point here is going to be wide receiver. You've got to bolster your wide receiver room. Garrett Wilson, consistent, gets a ton of targets. That's great. JSN on the rise. In your format, he's not going to win you a league. Marquise Brown, love him. He's got some question marks as well. We've got to get better than those top 3 if you want to make a push at the end there.
Yeah. Man, my man, we really appreciate it. You have actually pushed us to do some serious research for your team because we don't play in keeper leagues that often, so we've had to do some research to help you out, but it's been great for us. Now we can help some other people in keeper leagues if they come along. So we do appreciate you joining us over there, and continue to DM us, continue to ask us questions because I have loved helping you out and loved having you over there. Yeah. So do, again, make sure to do that. Again, let's get on to the next one here, and I believe the next one, if I'm not mistaken, is our guy, J Deck. J Deck, man, we appreciate you. Thanks for being a part of the flock. Thanks for using code DOMAIN. Here are your league settings. You've got 1 QB. There is no Superflex. This is a 1 QB, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back. No tight end premium. So this is a pretty standard league settings here. You've got Jalen Hurts as your quarterback. You've got Barkley and Jacobs, A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Schultz, Pollard, Christian Kirk. This team is loaded. This team is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Your depth score even is an 8 out of 10. You've got Jared Goff, Ezekiel Elliott, Keaton Mitchell, Addison, London, Dotson, Burks, JSN, Douglas Pitts. I know this is a 10-team. How did you get this team? This is crazy. Wide receiver factory team. But again, let me read the wide receivers one more time on this team. A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, JSN, Jahan Dotson, Drake London, Treylon Burks. I mean, what do we... Geez.
Even Demario Douglas.
Even Demario Douglas.
Yeah. As your last wide receiver, he's kind of on the rise right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And contender rebuild scale. We're going to put you at contender. You're missing your 24 first. You got some little running backs. You're clearly a win now team. That's a roster that's going to win this year. We told you to look to trade Tony Pollard, Jahan Dotson, and Kyle Pitts. Players you could target. David Montgomery, a great buy in Dynasty, as is Marquise Brown, as is Chris Godwin, and so is Dalton Kincaid. We expect you to contend for 2 years. Maybe in year 3, we are going to predict you'll probably have to reload a little bit. But your cornerstone assets, you got some pretty good ones. Hurts, Barkley, Jacobs, A.J. Brown, Jordan Addison, and Kyle Pitts. So you've honestly got a ton of guys you could call cornerstones here. And honestly, this team is one of the better teams we've ever graded. Draft capital grade, you're obviously a little bit lower on that, but it's because you score 9, 7, 9, and 6 on your positional grades. So again, this is a really good team. Obviously, we told you to get off Tony Pollard because, he's losing value fast. Jahan Dotson, you can get somebody with a higher ceiling, and Kyle Pitts. But outside of that, this is just a really good team. Those are really just going to cement this team as being like the top team in that league.
Yeah, and if you want this to be a long-term dominant roster, I would go buy into those wide receivers going into contract years that are pretty much guaranteed to increase in value from this point to next June. Whereas a player like Tony Pollard, maybe he contributes to you scoring points overall towards the end of the season, but he's not really going to win you the league because he's disappointed at this level anyways, and you've done just fine. Just keep in mind, a non-tight end premium, even though we have Kyle Pitts listed as a quote-unquote cornerstone asset, there's no relevant tight ends outside of the top 4 that are really going to help you make a push for your league. So just spam tight end. You're fine with Dalton Schultz. You're actually better with Dalton Schultz than you are Kyle Pitts as a contender. Go get rid of Kyle Pitts and go target in the offseason, or now, if you're lucky enough, get one of those top 4 tight ends that'll really help you kind of set yourself above everyone else in your league.
Yeah. J-Deck, we appreciate you, my friend. We appreciate having you over there. Thanks for joining the flock. Again, like I said, I'm going to say it. We're doing these team blueprints. These are what we give people, give them some comprehensive plans for the Dynasty team. Like this is really what we're trying to do, is set people on the right track for their Dynasty team. And again, that's all at flockfantasy.com/domain. And when you do the annual Mother Flocker tier, this week only, you get 2 of these suckers when you sign up. Annual Mother Flockers. And if you use code domain. And I did see somebody that says, you know what? $100 is a lot of money. It's crazy. It is. When you put that per month, that's $8.30 per month. It includes the blueprints. It includes our help literally on the daily. Yeah, we are literally DMing people on the daily. Yeah. You get all of our rankings, and from 5 other creators. You get articles from 5 other creators, and it is a lot. Not to mention, we just had an update to our rankings page. We've got a ton of updates coming out to the site. So I know it may seem like a lot, but we get $8.30 a month. Less than that technically. That's worth it for me. So yes, I know it seems like a lot, but from a yearly perspective, like that's how we're making our living. Let's go to blueprint number 5 here. Our guy AD Brown. AD, you got this one, Nathan.
Yeah. So AD Brown, your league settings are 1 QB, but you've got a super flex spot as well. So you're starting QBs, two QBs a week consistently if the state of your team is solid, and you're starting, I believe, 10 players overall. You got a ton of depth here, very deep league with 18 bench spots plus 4 taxi, PPR, tight end premium as well. I love these settings. This is what I wish all settings were for all Dynasty leagues. Absolutely love it. You've got Burrow and Fields, which was great. Now Burrow's down, which sucks, but you were kind of on the fringe of, contending in the middle of the pack anyways. I've got you reloading in your first year anyways. So, if you're not able to contend anymore because you just lost Joe Burrow, I think that's okay. The state of your team long-term is going to be just fine. You lost Daniel Jones as well. That's just that just sucks. I've got a decent amount of Daniel Jones shares, and that hurt me as well. Overall, I think your depth is fine. It's nothing to write home about. I do like that you have Demario Douglas, though, overall. Your running backs are Ramondre Stevenson and Rashad White. They're scoring points now. Don't offer a ton of long-term value. Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase. Your team archetype here is very clearly wide receiver factory.
He is in the comments. Anthony's in the comments, and he says he just traded Fields, Higgins, and White for Lamar.
You brilliant man.
You rock.
You are the best.
That's awesome, man.
Good job. I think he actually DM'd me about that deal too, and I was like, he
yes, please.
Yeah, AD Brown.
Anthony, my friend, that's great.
Heck yeah, he did. He DM'd me for that deal. I was like, yes, please do
every day. That's awesome.
Yeah, and great. So you don't have T. Higgins anymore based off your blueprint. Sam Laporta, love that you have Sam Laporta as a reload. Long term, he's going to score you a lot of points. Will he have a cap ceiling because of Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery in the red zone? Maybe he doesn't score as many touchdowns. That's a possibility, but for now, in his market value, hold on to him at the moment, and then we'll reevaluate once we get to the offseason, maybe see if you can move off and get like Hawkinson once you're really contending and stuff like that. Your draft capital, you don't have any future first or seconds through 2026. So that's really the big knock on your team is long term. you've got no first, man. That's one of the, no insults, no shade to you. That's just one of the worst draft capital grades I've ever seen, and that's really unfortunate. And for someone like you who made a push and had the injuries of Garrett Wilson, had the injuries of Joe Burrow and Daniel Jones, that's just part of Dynasty fantasy football. It happens. But because of the value you have now on your team, I'm legitimately not even worried about it. I'm not worried that you don't have your picks because they're never going to be high enough for you to really be upset that you missed out on those with the value that you now have at quarterback long-term and wide receiver. Running back is going to be the last thing you want to target here. At the moment while you're reloading, again, let's get those wide receivers going into contract years. Let's get Brandon Ayuk. Let's get Michael Pittman. Let's get Marquise Brown. Let's get eternal buys like Chris Godwin. Let's get those guys and get Quentin Johnston as well, those buy low rookie wide receivers who maintain their value going into their sophomore season.
Yeah. Dude, Anthony, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on with the stream with us, and also thanks for being a part of the flock. We appreciate having you over there. And then we've got one more blueprint that we are going to do tonight, and it is from our guy, Aaron Syverson. I think I said your name right. 6. Dude, we appreciate you as well. We've loved having you over there. Hope you're watching right now. Drop any comments you've got about your team. Let's look at this. It's a 10-team, 1 QB. It is a 10-team super flex, my bad, and a half-point tight end premium. It's full PPR. You also have 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. You got 10 bench. So pretty standard there. Looking at your starting lineup, Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray. I mean, you're anchoring your team here with 2 elite QBs. Hence your team archetype, and that's actually triple elite QB because if you look at his bench, he's got Anthony Richardson. Not only Anthony Richardson, he's got Will Levis in there. So it's really a triple elite QB and a solid 4th string QB.
Yeah.
So
it's a good situation to be in.
It's a great situation in a super flex to be in, especially somebody who leans a little bit more rebuild here. You've got Achane, who doesn't play for the Seahawks. That's kind of funny. And Roshan Johnson. You've got Watson, Olave, and Dotson at wide receiver. You've got Musgrave at your tight end. In your flex, you've got Rashee Rice and Rashid Shaheed. Your depth score is going to be a 5 here. You've got good quarterbacks, but then you've got Moss, Gibson, and Dobbins at running back, so that's a little bit scarce. Williams, Rondell Moore, Jake Bobo. So, again, you're getting hurt a little bit by injuries, and Tyler Higbee as a backup tight end. We have you reloading this year, but you should be contending next year. And, honestly, you should be contending the year after that, too. So, this is a reload, especially with the type of QB capital that you have. Your cornerstone assets here are going to be Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray. Devon Achane as well. He is considered a cornerstone. Chris Olave. And then not really a cornerstone tight end, but that's okay on a rebuild for sure. You do have 424 firsts, and you have 424 seconds. That's fantastic, dude. Well done putting that together. Your positional grades, you're 10 at quarterback, 5 at running back, 6 at wide receiver, and 4 at tight end. We rarely give out 10s, so that's pretty freaking good, man. Then we told you to make some moves. Devon Achane, we said maybe move for a cornerstone wide receiver like Jalen Waddle. Christian Watson, safer wide receiver like Marquise Brown. And Rashee Rice, higher upside guys like Marquise Brown maybe. Even maybe Devon Achane for TJ Hawkinson or something like that.
TJ Hawkinson plus.
Or at this point, yes.
So he's in a tight end premium as well. So Hawkinson this year, just as a little bit of a side note, guys, we are 10 games into the season. In tight end premium, this is crazy. 20 points per game for TJ Hawkinson in tight end premium.
That's insane, guys. TJ Hawkinson's been tearing it up. I don't think
that's the tight end 1, by the way.
Yep.
That's higher than Kelsey.
And he's the tight end 1 in Dynasty right now.
He should be.
So our suggestions would be don't sell any of your first midseason. It's time to buy an elite tight end, which is why we put Hawkinson on there. And prioritizing upgrading wide receiver over running back through trades. But, again, my man, we appreciate you. Hope you were able to get on tonight. But thanks for joining the flock. And, guys, drop all your questions. We're going to go through and answer all your questions now. So drop your questions in the comments. Drop a like on the video. And, again, we've said this a couple times, but if you haven't been here, I will go through. We talk about being on flockfantasy.com/domain all the time. It's where our Discord is, where we give these blueprints out. These blueprints are, again, multi-year plans for people's dynasty teams. We're trying to help people build actual dynasties here and win money every single year that they play. Yep. And you get a team blueprint when you sign up for the Mother Flocker tier. This week, only this week, Black Friday sale, you get 2 team blueprints. When you sign up for the annual Mother Flocker tier, you get 2 team blueprints. So that means 2 of your dynasty teams will have blueprints for them. It's a pretty good deal. It's only this week. But like I said, when you sign up using code DOMAIN, annual Mother Flockers will get that deal. We appreciate you guys watching. And again, drop your comments. We're going to go through and answer some questions right now. We're going to start here at the top, but we've got a lot of questions. So, again, we'll get through as many as we can. Probably not all of them tonight, but we do appreciate you guys joining us, and let's go through and answer some questions here. I can never see the top of this. I think I see Big M Dog Yo says, let's go. and I appreciate that. And Toronto Dave is here. What's up, Toronto Dave? Good to see you, my friend. Let's go ahead here, and let's go to Sebastian. He said 10-team, tied in premium 1.5, and then said he gave QJ for Davis, J.K. Dobbins, and a 25 third. So he's getting Gabe Davis side. That's fine.
I don't love trading QJ right now, but if you're going to get anyone, Gabe Davis is one of the targets that I look for, because I do think that Gabe Davis is not going to be on the Buffalo Bills in 2024, and he's probably going to get a pretty solid long-term contract elsewhere.
Yeah.
So,
you want to take Torsten's question?
Yeah. So Torsten says, "Hey guys, I have Geno and offered him the Deshaun Watson owner. The trade would be Geno and for Watson and a fourth. What do you think? Yeah, I'd do that. Would you do that with the contract?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm good with that as well." Patzer says, "Yo,
what up, Patzer?
Yo, situation on Andrews? ? Good replacements on the waiver. My trade deadline was before the game yesterday. First thing you should do is petition that trade deadline. Let's get it to week 14 for future seasons."
So stupid.
It's ridiculous that it's yeah.
Hey, so I have an update about that trade that I showed you.
Which trade?
The trade. So right before I went live, like literally 2 seconds, I showed Nathan a trade, and it was Saquon Barkley for Isaiah Pacheco and a third. The dude thought it was a first.
Oh.
They ended up switching it back. It makes so much more sense.
That's chill. That's nice of them. But
yeah.
Situation on Andrews. He's likely out for the season, obviously. And we are absolutely holding Mark Andrews / buying. We've already seen some deals go down for Mark Andrews that are putrid. Putrid. You should not be selling Andrews at a discount. At all. Please don't do it. Don't do it. So we'd say buy him low. You can get him for pretty cheap. If you feel like you're lowballing a guy, that's probably the price that he's going at right now.
Yeah.
So
Cole says, should I trade Jahan Dotson at 25-second for Christian Kirk? Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Eric Brown says, what's good? EB, what's up, my friend?
Hello.
Good to have you on here. Sebastian says, also gave Sam Howell and Chuba for a 25 late first. How? Good job. Eric Brown says, Blueprint was a game changer.
Good to hear.
Dude, you know it. First of all, thank you for your kind words. And again, we're selling 2 of those blueprints with the annual Mother Flocker tiers using code domain this week only. So if you want a team blueprint, make sure you check it out. Mason, what's up? Mason says 12-team start 10 Superflex. How much would you give up to go from AR to Lamar? I have lots of draft capital this year and next. Take an AR and a first or Lamar. Mid-late first.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, man. I want to say Lamar, but I'm higher on Lamar than market is, and AR is going to end up being the 9th to 10th overall pick in startup drafts, compared to Lamar being the 7th at the highest.
2 or 3 seconds, maybe, is what we'd give.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do it first.
2 or 3 seconds, Mason. That's what we're going to say. That's hard.
I would like to do AR in a first, but I don't think it's fair market value-wise.
Yeah. Jesse, what's up? Says, need unbiased opinions. We are the most unbiased people you've ever met. On what to do with this team won't make the playoffs. Tua, Watson, Bryce, Levis, Bijan, JT, Chan, Charbonnet, Roshan, G. Wilson, Lennon, Olave, Thielen, Burks, Jamo, E. Moore, Reed, Pitts, Kincaid, and McBride. That is a stacked team, my friend. Good team. Won't make the playoffs. Well, all right, so looking at this, who can you even sell? You're not selling those guys. You're not selling any of these. Sell Chan, get a cornerstone wide receiver, another one. Try to get Waddle. Try to give Chan a second for Waddle.
Yep.
Looking through, sell Thielen. Try to get a second or 2. I don't think people will still give 2 seconds, but Nathan got that in 1 league.
Yep.
I like the rest of your team, man. You can afford to sell some tight ends if you want to. Like McBride, I think McBride's not a bad sell right now. He's going for crazy prices. People are trading Mark Andrews for Trey McBride right now. So I'd go get Andrews if I were you.
Yeah.
Try to go get or send Pitts for Andrews even.
Yep.
Try to make that trade. Appreciate you, Colin. What's up, Colin?
Hi, Colin.
Say you're a contender. He said this. Seriously, this is funny.
What?
You're like, hi, Colin. You have French playoff teams first. Would you trade them a late first for Swift and Njoku? No, keep their first.
Yep.
And to try to ensure it's a lotto pick. Nope. Keep it. Tuned in, boys. Trent, dude, we appreciate you, my friend.
Trent McBride, brother of Trey McBride.
Dynasty Domain says there's a blueprint sale going on. Annual Mother Flocker sign up gets 2 team blueprints this week only with code domain.
Black Friday sale. Interesting.
Haven't heard about that one. EB says if we signed up, yeah, we already did this one. Ethan says have Kittle and McBride as a contender. Thoughts on trading one for Andrews, and if so, which one? McBride for Andrews straight up.
Yep.
Catchad, TTV says, hey, guys, what's up? Would you trade Ramondre for Mandrews for a future flip or pray that the Pats fall into Drake May roster in follow-up comment? Okay, so let's find his roster.
QB Hurts, AR. Then he's got Bijan Ramondre. And then he's got J. Jeff Devontae Smith.
No, I would definitely trade Ramondre for Mandrews. No question.
Yeah.
Zach says, what's the price on Chubb? 6 first through next 2 years and 4 seconds.
Pay the
second.
latest possible second.
Pay a late second. Ron says, what should I get for Dallas Goedert? You're probably not getting much right now.
A couple seconds at best.
Yeah, you're probably not getting much right now because I wouldn't sell him.
He's probably a hold unless you're on a hard rebuild.
Yeah.
And in a non-tight end premium.
Yeah. Devin says, rebuild squad. 1 QB, 2 flex. You have Stroud, Ramondre, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jordan Addison, Nico, Dalton Schultz pretty much guaranteed the 101. What should I do? On a rebuild, looking at your roster, I maybe sell Schultz if you can get a second for Schultz. 2 seconds for Schultz. Sorry, I know he's been going for 2 seconds recently.
Yeah.
Outside of that, stay put, dude. Keep rebuilding. It looks good to me. You want to take a couple?
Yeah, Mason says, can you get a blueprint if you're already signed up as a mother flocker?
Yes, if you use code DOMAIN on flockfantasy.com on your account, then you'll get a team blueprint.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man.
Tim says, I've got Flowers, traded for Addison, and almost accidentally got Quentin Johnston. Do I aim for JSN to finish my Infinity Gauntlet?
Dude, why even play if you're not going to have fun? Do it. Get the last Infinity Stone. That's what I say. Go for JSN.
Yes, sir. Completely agree.
I'm just Nick.
I'm just Nick says, send Pitts a mid to late first and a late third for Diggs and a 12-team start 10. Do I accept? I'm rebuilding.
Pitts?
I'm holding Diggs at that price.
Yeah. No, I'm holding Diggs for sure.
Diggs should be a top 12 Dynasty wide receiver. He's more expensive than that.
Yeah. Jacob asked how many reviews we were through so far. JDeck, we probably got to yours already, I think, by the time you had joined, so make sure you go back and watch it, dude. But we appreciate you. Anthony said this was his team. This is when we were reviewing his blueprint. I got to skip ahead. Should I pay a second in 2024 for Marquise? Yes, please. Please. Holy crap. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah.
Demo.
Where at?
Demo 27.
Demo 27. Wow, why did it jump me all the way down?
Because it doesn't like you.
Yeah. It said, I traded Olave, Monty, Connor, and Pittman for Adams, Diggs, and Stevenson. How do you think I went?
Olave.
Let's break this down.
Okay, so Olave,
Diggs and Olave are in the same
Diggs
tier.
Are in the same tier. It's a wash. It's Adams and Stevenson for Monty and Connor. I mean, I think that's fine. I think that was a fine trade. It's pretty.
Well,
pretty
Pittman's in that deal too.
Oh.
I'll go the Pittman side.
Yeah, I'd probably go Pittman side there.
Yeah.
That's the advantage, man, of being like on Flock Fantasy. You could have just DM'd us and we would have told you.
Yeah.
Like we would have both told you. Pulled your Pittman.
Which, if you guys have been watching this and you signed up for the annual Mother Flocker tier, if you are wondering where to put your roster or submit your roster for a blueprint, it's in the Team Blueprint channel.
Yep, and you have to make sure you sync your Discord roles. I made a Start Here channel for that now. So
there you go.
People, so people will be able to figure it out. Yep. But again, Black Friday sale, 2 Team Blueprints for new annual Mother Flockers using code DOMAIN. So we hope to see you over there as well. Ernie Poo Poo. What's up, Ernie Poo Poo? Gino and Pickens for a 24 mid-late first and a rebuild. A 10 team, yes. Don't you think?
Getting the 24 first?
Yeah. Mid-late, which would be that would be 5 to 10.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. That's what I think.
David says, what kind of player should I get for Isaiah Likely since Andrews went down? Dude. Anything. Like anyone but Isaiah Likely.
I think I agree with that. Jeremy Pilgrim Stopple says, 1/2 rebuild, 10-team Superflex, half PPR. Your key pieces are Burrow, Murray, CD, London, Dubs, Pitts, 424 firsts, seconds, thirds, and fourths. And you got 425 firsts and thirds. Wow.
And with so many picks, do I start trading for players I like for next year? Hollywood Brown, Watson, etc., so I don't have to make all those picks during the draft?
Not yet. Offseason, they're going to become more valuable. If anything, trade them before the rookie draft in the offseason.
Yeah.
That would be my advice to you. Hold them for now.
Yeah.
Paul says traded Swift, Boyd, and Taysom Hill for 24 first.
Good.
24 second and a 24 third. Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good.
Take Brad's question.
Yep. Brad says, where have y'all been? I've been in the blender with questions, non-dynasty here. I'm sorry, but help.
Oh, he's
no
asking
problem,
about the Dynasty channel.
Got a Godwin and Ramondre for Garrett Wilson offered, and a Gabe Davis and Brees for Javonte Williams. So we'll start with the first one. Godwin and Ramondre or Garrett Wilson. Which side are you taking there?
I mean, G-Dub. No, it's non-dynasty.
I give the edge to Ramondre as a running back. Ramondre's had a pretty solid month.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And when you think about the whole quarterback situation, I mean, quarterback situation has been terrible in New England. I just think they're going to run it a lot. That was like the only thing they were effective at over the last couple of weeks.
And then he also says he got Gabe Davis and Brees for Javonte. Heck yeah. What the frick? Yes.
Getting Brees or getting Javonte?
Getting Brees, I'm assuming. He said he got a guy.
I think rest of the season Brees and Javonte are in the same tier.
Well, you get Gabe Davis on top.
Brees has not been producing at the level we expected, and Javonte is playing very, very well.
Okay, well, that's actually, I didn't think that way, so maybe I was incorrect on that. Sean Leary says
you're in dynasty mode right now.
I am in dynasty mode right now.
Yeah.
Send Baker to a Burrow team that's semi-contending, and a second for Hollywood. Baker in a second or Hollywood. Oh gosh, I might hold Baker in a superflex. Baker. I think he might play for them next year.
I think he's earned himself a starting job for the next year or two.
Yeah, hold Baker. He's like a sneaky hold right now.
If it was like sending Baker and you got like I'm taking Hollywood over Baker straight up. The second is it's enough for me to question it a little bit. So I'd hold Baker right now because he's going to be desperate too. He'll probably end up overpaying for Baker. He just lost Burrow. So try to get a little bit more.
All right, you're in a toilet bowl league. This is Taryn Clout. Good to see you, man. Taryn Clout says he's got K1. He's got Watson, Dubs, AK-41, Keaton Ford, Hollywood, Amari, Zay Flowers, Dell, OBJ, Cup, Mike Williams, Puka, Komet, Hawk. You got 6 firsts, 4 firsts.
Hawk.
Jeez, you got a ton of picks, man.
All right, let's sell Komet high, please.
Might make the playoffs. Should I toilet or contend?
With 624 firsts.
He could flip.
Here's what I do with that situation. I don't sell any of your firsts in the middle of the season, and I just ride out the year, and I see if I can make the playoffs and just see what happens. And then for the next 3 or 4 years, you dominate with value because of those picks.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Good to see you, Taryn Clout. Mario, what's up, Mario? Says, should I trade away Cousins for Josh Dobbs? 8-2, just lost Burrow. Only active QB left is Love. It's always a joy seeing you two, Miss Simon. Dude, we miss Simon too. Actually,
He'll be back.
Simon should be back for a little bit in November, December, so we're happy about that because he'll be home for break a little bit. I probably just hold Cousins and try to give up like a second for Dobbs if I can. I just don't like selling Cousins low. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I'm not selling Cousins low. I think regardless of where he goes, we know what his passing volume is. I mean, he had literally the best 10-game stretch of his career this season.
This is a really good question. Jeremy says, is trading insignificant player for late picks even worth it? Like, for example, he got a 25 third for Aiden O'Connell, 5th for Dowdle, and a 4th for Henderson. I mean, those are waiverable guys, and you're getting picks. I like that strategy. So I think, yes, it's worth it. Roger says, just trade Godwin and Stroud for Chase and Lockett. Have Herbert. I probably lean the Stroud side there.
I would also lean the Stroud side.
But it's not a bad trade.
Yeah.
What if the 201? What if it's the 201 for Marquise Brown?
So you're giving up the 201 and you're getting Marquise Brown.
I'd probably hold the 201 for
I would
now
hold the 201.
and see if you can get more.
Marquise is cheaper.
Yep. Taryn Clout says, when are we going to have the conversation about Chase at Dynasty wide receiver 2? Ooh, that's a great question because actually we just recorded our Dynasty wide receiver rankings. They'll be out next week. Most NFL teams scheme to wipe out Chase have been very reactionary in general, but why not on Chase? He's still our wide receiver 2 in Dynasty, but to us, he's not in the
tier drop.
We dropped him a tier. So we have him in the same tier as A.J. Brown, C.D. Lamb.
And here's the reason why Chase will remain at 2 for us. A.J. Brown is playing with a rushing quarterback and is playing alongside Devontae Smith and, Dallas Goedert. And they have a pretty good run game as well. Philadelphia does, and that'll be the case for a while. So on a game-to-game basis, when Cincinnati's at their best and Philadelphia's at their best, Chase's ceiling is so much higher than A.J. Brown's.
Yeah.
And he has the upside to be the wide receiver 1 overall compared to A.J. Brown. And then CeeDee Lamb is great. He's very consistent, more consistent probably than any of those guys. And he just has a very safe floor. He's very constant. But we know what the Cowboys are offensively, and we know what Dak Prescott is offensively. So that's why we're going to give the edge to Chase until proven otherwise, honestly, because he still had a decent year.
Good on you, Taryn Cloud, for asking that question. I think
it's a good question.
I think it's totally fair.
Yep, it is.
Jeremy says, still worth it. Decline that trade a week ago. Now we were to hold the 201. Lamb and Brown should be over him. Yeah, so we have all three of those guys in the same tier. We still would put him over him technically, but again, same tier. So same tier. That's what it means.
Yeah, I cannot criticize anyone for putting Lamb and or CD over Chase right now.
Yang Gang says, hey guys, what's up, Yang Gang? First stream I've ever watched. Nice. Love that I came across your channel last week. Awesome. Good to have you here, man. Thanks for watching the channel. We appreciate it. You traded Diggs, Dobbs, and Gus Bus for Devontae Adams, Devonta Smith, Russ, and a late first. Holy frick. Thoughts? I thought I fleeced. You did fleece. Good night. Because, I mean, Diggs,
good job.
Diggs can wipe out Smith, and then you're doing Dobbs and Gus for Adams, Russ, and a first? What in the world?
Yeah, good job.
Dude,
good
that's
job.
awesome, man. Great job. And glad you're here. Glad you found the channel.
Yep.
Again, drop in anytime. At flockfantasy.com/domain if you want to be able to chat with us every day. We're over there every day, chatting with our members.
Every day.
DMs, Discords, whatever.
Every day.
Every day. Let's go to Cole. Cole says, should I trade Jahan Dotson in a second for Christian Kirk? I feel like I answered that. And yes, you should.
Yeah.
I like that, Cole. Maybe that question got asked twice, actually. Tanner says, got Achane and Olave for 2 mid-seconds, 2 seconds, and a first.
So
What?
4 seconds and a first. Yeah, good job.
That's awesome, dude.
Yep.
Congratulations. That's really cool. That's a really good deal.
Love it.
Question here. Fields for Rashee Rice and Zay. 10-team PPR.
Zay Flowers, I assume.
Yep.
I'd take that.
Yep. I would too. Which side?
Zay Flowers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and a 10-team, yes.
Yep.
All right, let's take a break real quick here. I do want to talk about flockfantasy.com/domain. Flockfantasy.com. And on flockfantasy.com/domain, you get all of our rankings, articles, you get our Discord, you get our exclusive live streams. And if you sign up for the Mother Flocker tier, you get a blueprint. But not only that. Sign up for the annual Mother Flocker tier this week only for Black Friday. Annual Mother Flocker tier will do two blueprints for 2 of your separate Dynasty teams. 2 of them. So again, that's this week only. And if you sign up for the annual Mother Flocker tier using code DOMAIN, you have to use code DOMAIN to be in our camp. Then we'll give you 2 of them. But again, flockfantasy.com/domain. Jeremy says, sorry, last one. Don't be sorry, man. We're here to answer your questions. That is our job. 10-team, start 10 Superflex. You get Gibbs and a second for Swift and Hawk. Ooh. I'd probably just hold Swift and Hawk there.
Yep, I would as well.
AN says, I have some insane trades that have gotten through. Drop them. We want to hear them. Liam. What's up, Liam? Good to see you. Guy in my league lost Andrews, Watson, and Burrow this week. No question, just pray for him. Dude, fantasy giveth and fantasy taketh away.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the best way to say it, I think. Would you guys give me your opinion on them? Dude, drop them in the comments. Yes, absolutely we will. We'd love to. Let's get some opinions on these trades real quick. We'll probably be on for 5 more minutes. So, drop your last questions. 5 minutos. Drop your last questions, and we will answer anything you guys got. Join us, like I said, on flockfantasy.com. Our Discord's become a real fun place. Join me. Leave us. Our Discord's become a real fun place because we got 65, 70 people over there now, and we all have fun. And honestly, we talk about trades, talk about our blueprints, talk about whatever. So Discord's become pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
I would trade A.T. Perry. What? Nathan, read that.
Yeah. I trade A.T. Perry for a 25-second and Will Levis. Is this a 1 QB?
What?
I don't care if it's a 1 QB. Take it.
Like A.T. Perry is no, dude, that's crazy.
A.T. Perry is a developmental taxi guy that sits on your taxi
He's a waiver
for
guy,
2
in my
years.
opinion.
So,
what are your
he's
thoughts?
a 4th-round wide receiver.
Hey, this is a good question. Yang Gang, I know you found the channel last week. So we love Jahmyr Gibbs. Love him. We were super high on him coming out of the draft.
Super high on him going into this season.
We are now not super high on the situation that he's in. it is encouraging that he got red zone touches. We love him as a talent.
Yeah.
We hope the Lions use him like he's supposed to.
Yes.
We told people to sell because we said when we told people specifically to sell high.
I mean, you would have thought that we were like the worst people, the worst people.
And again, like I
Earth.
bought Jahmyr Gibbs this week. It's about the price.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like Jahmyr Gibbs. We really like him. Brandon says, what if you're already subbed to the Mother Flocker tier? If you're on Code Domain and you did the Mother Flocker tier, you should have already gotten a blueprint. And if you didn't, let us know. Z Smitty said, would you trade Kittle for Kincaid? Yes, for sure. In a PPR league, yes. Mid-late first for Kyler. 1 QB. I think I'd take that. Would you? In a 1 QB, it's a mid-late first?
You're getting Kyler in a 1 QB?
Yeah.
Depends on what other QBs you have there, man. Because I'm not big on sending first for because Kyler's he's a top 9 quarterback in 1 QB. So at that point, you're getting one of the bottom 6 of the 12 that are starting anyways. So
Yeah.
I'm not super hype on that.
It says it is Superflex. That's ridiculous.
Oh, if it's super, yeah, okay, yeah.
No,
Sorry.
even if it's not though, like. No.
Or no,
this is
Superflex for the
Superflex,
Levis,
AT
the Levis
Ferry,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
ridiculous.
Z Smitty said traded Christian Kirk and Zay for Bijan and Tank.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah.
What should we be doing with Bryce? I'm assuming that Young. Yeah. Bryce Young. Hold
Hold him. I think he'll be fine. One of our predictions this year was that CJ Stroud was going to look better than Bryce Young, and that Bryce was going to have a rough year. I thought Stroud was going to have a good year. He thought Stroud was going to have a better year. Simon was more with me. None of us thought Stroud was going to have the year that he's currently having. I don't think that's really a knock on Bryce. I think that's more of like good on CJ Stroud for looking awesome. But Bryce Young, I'm not concerned. I'll be concerned at the end of year 2. But I really am willing to throw this out the window.
Yeah, I'm not. You can't be concerned yet.
No.
Trade David Njoku late first, DeAndre Hopkins for TJ Hawkinson and an early second. Easy.
Love it.
Good job.
Hawk.
Get this, Nathan. Johnny Detroit says he's buying Jahmyr Gibbs. Look at it. Look at his profile picture. Can you believe it? Johnny, we're glad you're with us, man. But that is the least surprising comment we've gotten all night. Of course you're buying him. Trent says, although he would know more about the Lions than us if he's a fan. That's typically how that works.
Yeah,
we know more about the Colts than most people.
That is true.
Should I trade Dobbs, Russ, and Olave for Burrow?
People are trying to crap on Irsay.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to talk
Like
about
you have no
Dobbs,
right.
Russ, and
No
Olave
right.
for Burrow, Damian Pearson. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Stroud or Prescott in a mid-24 second. Stroud, don't even think about it. Take it and run. Yang Gang says, my thing with Gibbs is if Montgomery ever goes down again, he should be a top 5 running back. No. That's kind of our issue with Gibbs. We don't have an issue with Gibbs, the player. But, like, if that's what we're banking on, if we're just banking on if Montgomery gets injured for him to be a top 5 producing running back, then that automatically means he has a cap ceiling more often than not. So, no. I'm not banking on Montgomery just getting injured.
All right.
He's under contract. So
We'll take all the questions up to Reese, and then we're going to get off of here. Cole says, we'll do Tanner's, actually. Tanner got one in. What should we be doing with Bryce Young and Christian Watson? Oh, you got to hold Bryce Young, sell Christian Watson.
Yep.
Should I sell Stroud high? No.
No.
Please do not. Look at my luck. Oh, my gosh. 10 future firsts. Holy smokes, dude. Well done. Reese says Devonta Smith and an early first for Chase. No. If it's a top 4, no. In a lottery, no.
Yeah.
Hold the first and try to get Caleb.
Yep.
Trade away Watson for Flowers straight up night before his injury news. Pretty good trade, actually.
Good job.
Matthew says Breece Hall for Najee in a first. What side are you taking? Breece Hall. Appreciate y'all's advice. Was leaning accept, but yeah, dude. Yes, absolutely. Master Nader says if you're a Colts fan, who should I target to stack with AR5? Pittman signing elsewhere. Pittman will sign with the Colts again. We don't love stacks as a general rule, but
if you're looking for a stack, I honestly would go Downs.
Yeah.
I think he's a better value.
He's a better value. Brandon says Kyler for CJ Stroud. Absolutely takes Stroud there. Yang Gang says, love you guys. Peace. Yang Gang, we appreciate that, and we'll wrap it up there. Again, We're all the time, every single day. We're over at flockfantasy.com/domain. We're talking to our members. We're in our DMs. We're in all of our Discord channels. We're reviewing teams. Get asked about trades and rosters. So we'd love for you to join us over there. And if you join with the Anal Mother Flocker tier this week only, you get 2 team blueprints when you sign up. So that's for 2 of your Dynasty teams. It's a good deal. Black Friday only. So this week only will end next Saturday morning. 2 team blueprints when you sign up for the Anal Mother Flocker tier. Guys, we appreciate you watching today. We appreciate being with us on this Friday night. Thanks for joining us. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you later.